Good evening, and welcome to another edition of What's Next. Thank you for joining us, and we have a good evening today. Anyway, our show tonight is about two very noted historians. We've learned about them in our school years. We've heard about them from most of our educational people, our teachers, and as scholars. Frederick Douglass was a very strong voice for black Americans during the 1800s, and Booker T. Washington, also another very strong voice for black Americans. It seems that Frederick Douglass was a slave. He overcame slavery by escaping to the north, and because he was such an avid lecturer and a very good speaker, he was able to earn his liberation by speaking, being a great public speaker. That earned him his freedom. Matter of fact, his freedom was paid for by a noted gentleman in India. Anyway, the most noted thing about in earning that freedom. He was an advisor to President Abraham Lincoln at the time of the Emancipation Proclamation. It may be wise to note that slaves were freed in several areas before 1965. They were freed in Washington, D.C. in 1862. There were some who were freed in 1863 in some of the other states, not the border states of the South and in the South, but in other states that were inland. They were being freed all over the northern sections of the country. Interestingly enough, Frederick Douglass had an overwhelming impact on all of those types of things happening. It had a very strong impact on the Emancipation Proclamation that was delivered by President Lincoln. Found that to be interesting as well. One of the things he tried to do, interestingly enough, was to organize and institute a college to create trade for black people. That didn't happen. We couldn't get enough money to make that happen. But I found that interesting because Booker T. Washington did. Matter of fact, Booker T. Washington established the Tuskegee Institute. He was the founder of Tuskegee. He was the first president of Tuskegee, and during his 50-year reign at Tuskegee, interesting enough again, he graduated more millionaires than Harvard, Yale, and Princeton together. And that, matter of fact, Tuskegee was established and created premised on the basis of trade. Blacks really getting a trade to establish themselves. Booker T. Washington also, his premise was economics. He wanted the black people to get economic control. Anyway, much of that information is shared with you all. I was hoping to have on my show tonight the great-granddaughter of Booker T. Washington, the great-great-granddaughter of Frederick Douglass, to share with you all some of the things of the 21st century and slavery within the 21st century. However, at this time, she is not with us, and I have to apologize to my viewing audience, and I would like you all to tune in on Sundays at 7 o'clock to West Neck, and we'll be here every Sunday. Next Sunday, my guest will be Mark Smith. He's an orator. He speaks, public speaker. And his educational background is in industrial systems engineering. Anyway, that will be my guest for next week. Tune in for next week and join us in West next week at 7 o'clock. Thanks for watching, and have a good week.